Thanks for joining us on the Midday News. I'm Nifemi Oguntoye. Nigerian troops have carried out air raids on Sambisa Forest and Goza as part of the new offensive against Boko Haram. Defense headquarters said in a statement on its website that training camps and food dumps in the insurgent enclaves were destroyed by fighter planes. The military added that Sambisa Forest and some parts of Goza were the targets of the successful operation. It says scores of insurgents were killed, but will provide more details of the casualty in the course of subsequent operations. Defense authorities also hinted that the air raids were carried out to prepare grounds for a second phase of the offensive. Meanwhile, the United States is now supporting Nigeria's Safe Schools initiative with $2 million. Minister of Finance Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala made this known in Abuja at the signing of a tripartite memorandum of understanding among Nigeria, the United Nations, and the United States. She noted that the donation would go into a multi-donor fund trust set up within the UN system, but to be managed by the UNDP, UNICEF. The finance minister added that Qatar is also committing $2 million to support the initiative.
Today I'm happy to announce that the U.S. government through USAID has made a donation of $2 million to this multi-donor trust fund. And we are here today to witness the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding between the UN, the US, and the U.S. government in support of the government of Nigeria. And I shall be signing on behalf of the government as the witness to this contribution to us. I'm also happy to inform you that the government of Qatar, through the Qatar Foundation, has equally made a donation of $2 million into the Multi-Donor Trust Fund. I'm sure we probably will be doing something with them on this later.
Unacceptable. So we in the United States government, we're delighted to be part of this. It ties in with many other things that we're trying to do in the Northeast. Education, health, nutrition, support to IDPs, all of these things to try to decrease the human suffering as part of our overall effort to support the Nigerian government as it struggles against terror. We know from our own experience how hard that struggle can be, but also how crucial and how important that struggle is. And you just have to keep going. You can't give up. And we stand with you here in Nigeria, because I know that you are not going to give up, and we are not going to give up in our efforts to support you.
President Goodluck Jonathan has commissioned 4 ships into the Nigerian Navy fleet as part of his administration's effort to boost security on the waterways. 2 of the ships were acquired from China, 1 from the United States, while a 4th, Crescent Prosperity, is a former Irish Navy fishery patrol boat, which was procured for training purposes. Speaking at the commissioning, President Jonathan said the newly acquired vessels would help improve maritime security. He added that 2 more ships would be added to the naval fleet before the end of 2015.
In line with my administration's transformation agenda and our vision of becoming one of the leading economies in the world, premium is placed on improved national security. These include food security as well as employment generation. The high dependence of the nation's economy on offshore resources as well as the enormous potentials of the maritime sector to contribute to our food security and employment generation makes provision of effective maritime security very imperative. Therefore, the Nigerian Navy, as the lead maritime security agency, deserves all the support it needs to effectively carry out these statutory roles.
The alleged mastermind of the 2010 Independence Day bombing, Charles Oka, has told the Federal High Court in Abuja that he is now mentally and physically fit to face trial. The trial of Oka and others accused of involvement in the twin car bombing has suffered a series of setbacks, even as the accused persons on October 7 last year asked their counsel Festus Kayamo to stop representing them on the matter. At the resumed trial, prosecution counsel Alex Ezeyo informed the court of his readiness to call witnesses to testify before the court. But the new defense counsel from Legal Aid Counsel, Amos Abdullah, asked for more time to enable him maintain the previous court proceedings. Trial Judge Justice Gabriel Kolawale granted his request and adjourned the matter till April 23 for further trial. Oka, who was granted permission to speak in the court, said the condition in which he was subjected to in prison rendered him unfit for trial over the years. He further told the court that his health has sufficiently improved due to intervention of the International Red Cross Society and the British High Commission. Members of the House of Representatives have now mandated the police to prosecute anyone found culpable in the recent attack on the governorship rally of the All Progressives Congress in Okrika, River State. Now, this was on the basis of a motion by Representative Robertson Uwak, who expressed worry over the spate of violence that have erupted across the country.
The House sadly notes that on the 17th of February 2015, guns were fired and multiple explosions were set off at the National School Field, Okrika, venue of an APC political rally in River State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, the explosion caused the loss of many lives, including the lives of security agents, and damage to the school buildings and its facilities. We have two prayers here. One is to condemn the attack on the political rally in Okrika, River State, and all forms of political violence. Two, to call on the Nigerian police force to investigate, arrest, and prosecute all those involved in the attack.
Those in support of the motion as amended, please say aye. Aye. Those against, please say nay. The ayes have it.
The National Peace Committee has now also condemned the shooting incident that took place during the All Progressives Congress rally in Okrika, River State. The committee, headed by former President, Head of State Abdulsalam Abubakar, also said that it will seek appropriate answers from security agencies on the incident. It cautioned party leaders and their followers against acts of violence and urged Nigerians to give relevant authorities the benefit of doubt on the sanctity of the March 28 and April 11 dates. The former head of state spoke at the meeting with representatives of the leading political parties in Abuja.
Focus their mind on exercising their right come the election day. And we still appeal again to people to eschew violence. During the meeting here this afternoon, we as the committee have met, and we are fortunate that we have the chairman of the APC in person. And we have also a representative of the PDP chairman. Both of them have condemned any violence in their area. And we are appealing again to the youth, who are the main bulk of people that are involved in violence. To listen to the word of the elders, to listen to the word of their leaders, to ensure they are not used as cannon fodder.
The problem in this country is that electoral violence refuses to abate because law is not being enforced. If there is law enforcement added to our own appeals, I think we will see an abatement. But if there is selective law enforcement, selective because of these powers of incumbency, then you cannot expect it.
A new commissioner of police has assumed office at the state police headquarters Elewero in Ogun State. The commissioner of police, Valentine Ontomchukwu, is replacing Ekemefuna Okoye, who is now an assistant inspector general of police. After an inspection, the customary inspection of a guard of honor, the new commissioner assured residents of adequate security to lives and property and a violence-free general election, while asking men and officers to always maintain a high level of discipline and integrity. Ontomchukwu solicited the support of residents of the state in the task of ensuring effective policing of the state.
You should expect community policing to be reinforced. We should expect intelligence-led policing to be the principle of our strategy in this place. So we are going to synergize, with issues concerning holistic security with other security agencies. We are going to form a family so that we can share information, strategies, so that we work together to achieve our mandate of securing this particular state. If you watch, this state has been peaceful in terms of elections. They have not been having election crisis. So we are going to sustain, we are going to ensure that we sustain that. This state has no history of crisis, election-wise. So we don't expect anyone now. We are going to consult, we are going to collaborate, we are going to consult widely to ensure that all interest groups articulate their interests and we harmonize it to ensure free, fair, and transparent election.
So what's your message to the...
We'll take a break now, and I'll be back with more stories. Don't go away.
Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on Digi 360. 2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world again?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions.
Thanks for joining us again. You can also get all of our top stories on any of our social media platforms. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/CoreTV News, and our Twitter handle is at CoreTV News NG. We're also streaming live on YouTube now. It's youtube.com/CoreTV, level space, and news. Now, the Senate on Wednesday approved amendments of the 1999 Constitution following the adoption of the submissions of state houses of assembly. As part of the amendment, presidential assent will no longer be required for amendment to the Constitution as long as the National Assembly has approved them. Now, in moving for its adoption, Deputy Senate President A.K. Kwerimadu noted that it would be the last time the president's assent would be required before constitution amendments become law. He also reviewed that highlights of the bill include annual State of the Union address by the president, independent candidacy, and the separation of the offices of Attorney General and Minister of Justice.
Very noble assignment. And I would like for everybody to take indulgence to mention the name of this very patriotic senator in very quick order. Senator Victor Lowewa, Senator Pedro Bazo, Senator Kuberine, Senator Abdul Nasir, Solomon Kanil, George Akuni, Abu Ibrahim, Vice Ahmed, Ayola Agola, Manu Dahir, James Manager, Elegant Body, Ojo Lubesia, Chris Anyamo, Ahmed Makasi, Samantha Day, Kechumo, Nana Kure, Ayo Gezo, Sulema Agogo, Ita Elu, Radu Batuda, Chris Makasi, Barnabas Kamade, Ahmed Zana, Zowako, Bedo Duko, Atuna Deni, Joshua Kirani, Basizo Kuma, Abubakar Bakuru.
Lawyers across the country have described as unconstitutional the illegal the Niger State Governor's action, Babangida Aliyu, in handing over of state affairs to the Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Adamu Usman, instead of his Deputy Governor Ahmed Beto, who recently decamped to the All Progressives Congress. Human rights lawyer Femi Falana says Aliyu's action implies he's treating the government of the state as his party's affair. Falana described his action as unconstitutional and cited that the deputy of the state, as provided by the Constitution, should take over the affairs of the state instead of in the stead and absence of the governor. Another Lagos-based lawyer, Festus Kayamo, says the governor had flouted the provisions of the Constitution and had reduced a constitutional issue to a mere political affair. Also, activist and lawyer G.T. Ogunye urged the people of the Niger State and Nigerians at large to condemn the action of the governor. describing it as not permissible under the Nigerian constitution. While APC says it has proved now that a top management staff of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency NIMASA is behind what it describes as hate campaign against its presidential candidate Muhammadu Buhari and his family, aired in a recent documentary. Spokesman for its presidential campaign team, Garba Shehu, said in a statement that the party has confirmed that the agency was the sponsor of all the dirty campaigns aired on AIT, NTA, and several other media platforms. This, according to Shehu, contravenes the NIMASA Act, the Public Service Regulations, and the amended Electoral Act. The campaign team also wants the Joint Committees of the National Assembly on Marine Transportation to investigate its claims and take appropriate action if found to be true. Also, the APC has alleged a fresh plot by desperate politicians to circulate leaflets in mosques and churches asking Muslims to only vote for Muslims in the forthcoming elections. In a statement in Lagos on Thursday by its National Publicity Secretary, Lai Mohammed, the party said the plot was in line with the track record of those who had consistently used religion to divide Nigerians in order to further their political nest. APC reminded Nigerians of the most recent attempt to use religion as a tool to win votes, citing the case of Vice President Namadi Sambo, saying the PDP had more Muslims than the APC, and that the APC vice presidential candidate is a pastor who runs 5,000 churches. He said while the APC had been campaigning on issues of relevance, the other party has been talking about religion. And in a swift reaction to that by the People's Democratic Party, it has described claims by the APC of plans to circulate leaflets in mosques and churches as an unintended leak from the opposition party. This, it says, is because only the APC can stand to benefit from asking Muslims to vote for Muslims. PDP spokesman Olisa Metu said in a statement that the party has consistently aligned to such insensibilities. He maintained that PDP does not need neither religious nor ethnic cleavages to campaign and win elections in 2015. The PDP has also insisted that the audio tape being circulated by the All Progressives Congress do not indicate that last year's governorship election in Ekiti State was rigged. Spokesman for the party's presidential campaign team, Femi Fani-Kayode, said at a news conference in Abuja, none of the people who featured in the leaked audio discussed plans to manipulate the election. He also accused the opposition party and its presidential candidate of preparing grounds for post-election violence, while also presenting a video which he claimed shows that the APC rigged the governorship election in Osun State.
This is a clear case of the pot calling the kettle black. The tape that the APC referred to made no mention of rigging and did not expose any attempt to rig by Fayose or anyone else, whilst the tape that we have just played exposes ample evidence of rigging by the APC in Osun State. In addition to this, the PDP Presidential Campaign Organization wishes to take this opportunity to draw the attention of the Nigerian people and members of the international community to the subtle threat of violence in a statement by General Muhammadu Buhari at the APC stakeholders meeting in Abuja on Tuesday. General Buhari said that the patience of the APC and its leaders were on test. One wonders what he means by that, and what he and his supporters intend to do once that patience runs out. In an AFP news report of Friday, February 6, 2015, he was asked if he would accept the outcome of the presidential election, no matter how unfavorable it is to him. Listen to his answer, and I quote, "I am not going to lose, so I won't answer that question," end of quote. Again, only yesterday, Wednesday, February the 18th, 2015, in an interview on Arise Television, General Buhari was asked what his reaction would be if he loses the election. His answer was, "We shall see."
Lagos State High Court in Ikeja slated March 5, 2015 for judgment in a suit seeking to stop a former Minister of State for Defense, Musiliu Obanikoro, from ever contesting for any electoral office in Nigeria. Among the allegations levied against the ex-minister was that he had at one time or the other falsified his age and had submitted a forged birth certificate to the Independent National Electoral Commission for the purpose of contesting the governorship election in Lagos State. Obanikoro's accusers also asked the court to determine whether he is still eligible to contest any election in Nigeria, having voluntarily acquired the citizenship of the United States of America in addition to the citizenship of Nigeria. The action was instituted shortly before the Lagos People's Democratic Party's primary, which held on December 8 last year. The three plaintiffs in the suit are members of the PDP, namely Michael Ogun, Sulaiman Saheed, and Wasiu Duson. And moving away from that story now, a Borno-based pastor, Kalamo Musa Dikwa, says that the money that was allegedly given to pastors by the president is 7 billion naira and not 6 billion naira, as alleged by Rivers State Governor Rotimi Amechi, who doubles as the Director General of the APC Presidential Campaign Organization. Amechi had alleged that unnamed leaders of the People's Democratic Party paid 6 billion naira to Christian clerics to campaign against Buhari and the APC. The governor's allegation caused a stir among the Christian clerics, with the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria and the Northern State Christian Elders Forum asking Amechi to name the church leaders who collected the huge bribe. But Musa Dikwa, who is the executive director of the Voice of Northern Christian Movement, while speaking to journalists in Kaduna, said the money was channeled through the Christian Association of Nigeria. He alleged that CAN got the set 7 billion naira on January 26, 2015 and disbursed 3 million each to state chairmen of the CAN across the country. We'll take a break now and we'll be back with more. Don't go away.
From time immemorial, women have birthed life, shaped character, and by extension, influenced the society. Moremi of Ife, Emoten of Benin, Queen Aminat of Zaria, all women of influence and power.
Whether it's before election, after election.
How ironical. Women being so powerful, yet have few grounds in decision making.
They see you as a wife, and I see you as a wife to a man.
We are talking women in politics.
A woman will be bold enough to stand up and say, I want to become president of Nigeria.
Only on CoreTV News.
Outside Nigeria now, United States President Barack Obama has called on Nigeria and other countries battling insurgency to deepen democracy and promote protection of human rights. Obama, who spoke in Washington at the Summit on Counter-Violent Extremism, suggested 4 ways in which President Goodluck Jonathan, the president of Syria, and others could prosecute the anti-terror war, promising that the U.S. would continue to assist them in combating the Islamist extremists. Among the 4 areas suggested by the U.S. president in tackling the current insurgency in Nigeria, Iraq, and Syria was the need to address political grievances that terrorists exploit. President Obama, however, said terrorist groups like Boko Haram, Al-Qaeda, and ISIS are deliberately targeting their propaganda to Muslim communities, particularly the youth. And that wraps it this hour on CoreTV News. Do join us again at the top of the hour for more stories. I am Nifemi Oguntoye. Thanks for being there.